those 5 Shiva lingas, there's the brown sort of background where there's Krishna lifting Govardhan hill. You can see that. Yeah. Because that's always the underlying thing. So that these 5, they're 1 in 5 features, 5 faces of Lord Shiva. And during the day they look like this, very plain, but at night they dress them up. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Every evening they dress them up like this. So, okay, now we'll go to number 3. As you can see, it's Mukha. Mukha means the lotus mouth. Mukh. Yeah, so this is the Mukha temple. And in we go. And you see the one rock standing up with a sort of kind of circular so marking on it. This is what we call the Mukut Shila. This is said to be the mark of Lord Krishna's crown. Yeah. When his crown fell on his head when it was lying on the ground. And in the front, you can see the one big Shila round the top. This is actually Mukha. Oh, there, okay, the print is there. So the impression of Krishna's crown, there it is there. And this is the Mukut Shila, Mukha. She was said to be the lotus mouth of the hill, of Govardhan Hill. Right, so that was number 3. Now we'll go to number 4. This is the Manasi Devi temple. Well, on Manasi Devi, Lord Krishna had many boating pastimes. Boating pastimes with Radharani and the gopis. And so we're going around and think, what is this? Looks like, a week's supply, a month's supply of jalebis. But they make pretty good jalebis, I have to give it to them. And I'm going to write a picture in the back of the rings. And Pira, this is Pira, Govardhan Hill Pira. Yeah, anyway, that's just by the way, really. And we moved there, we were moving between 1 and 4. But now we're going to 4, which is, this is the Manasi Devi temple. And this is actually one Govardhan Shiva. But it's said to be a form of Yoga Maya, who is protecting Manasi Ganga from the influence of nonsense people. And let's have a closer look. Interesting looking Shiva. So here, this is Manasi Devi. You can see the writing on the left. This is Manasi Devi. Then next is a child devotee of Manasi Devi. And then next, this is the lion carrier of Manasi Devi. And then here, this is Kaila Devi, who is a form of Durga. But these are just all parts of the one Shiva. Yeah, Shiva meaning rock. And over the top is this picture. They actually worship Manasi Devi as Durga. Yeah, Durga, this is what she does in nonsense people go. And it's Prabhupada was saying that if you're a nonsense person, you better watch out. Because the trident may get you. If you dodge the trident, the dagger may get you. And if you dodge that, the chopper may get you, etc., etc. And if you dodge all of them, the lion may get you. And that's about it. So right next to the Manasdevi temple is Brahmakund. When all the demigods came to take part in Krishna's Abhishek, his bathing ceremony, right at the end of the Govardhan Leela, then different demigods and persons landed in different places. This is where Lord Brahma landed, Brahmakund. And then we go up to number 5, which is the Haridev temple. Famous old temple, this is the temple. And let's go in and have darshan. This is Haridev. He's like two-dimensional. At the back is, the same rock. His face and everything is carved out of the front of that rock. But the gopis would come here when Krishna would lead them in the rasa dance, and they would come here and call out to him, Haridev, 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 and Krishna would appear before them in this form. And there's his lotus feet. Yes, right, so that was number 5 on the right there. Now we're going following the main road. We'll start at number 6 and number 7. Let's have a look at yes. And I'm sure you can read Hindi, at least many of you. The Giriraj or Giraj Mishtan Bhandar. And this is an extremely famous place and very popular amongst the devotees. And they make the best dokra in the world on this planet, without a doubt. I can confirm it. Plus, they make the best cham cham. Have you all had cham cham before?
No.
If not, you've wasted 20% of your life. So this is called, what they call it? Malai cham cham. The white in the center with the almond on it, and there's a little pomegranate or something. That is Malai's cream in the center. And it's just something quite amazing. And this is their famous stone papri. Yeah. So it's quite amazing. The devotees always stop there to take a break. And across the road, it was number 7, I don't know if you remember see that. It's the Lakshmi Narayan temple. Lakshmi Narayan. It's a Sri Vaishnava temple. So from there we just go up to the, you see there's 6 and 7 up, just up, and then we take a hard left. Right where we take the left, we'll stop there momentarily. And here we are on the junction. And this is the main Parikrama path, going around Govardhan Hill. And you can see there's loads of people there. It's probably either in the Kadasi or Purnima. That's when you get the most people walking around the hill. And so off we go. And here, this is a special Shila. They say this Shila has Radharani's footprint on it, sort of up the top right there, kind of. But let's have a closer look. That pouring milk on Radharani's footprint, looks like. And up on the hill, just maybe 50 meters further on, is this abandoned temple from long ago in the past. And you can see the architecture. You see the archway on the right. That you see in the very old temples So now we're moving along the side of the hill, and we have darshan of some beautiful Govardhan Shivas. The whole hill is taken to be a form of Krishna. Yes, so each one of these rocks is a form of Krishna and worshipable. And so the whole hill is worshipable. So we're going to start at number 8. And this is the ISKCON temple, or ISKCON palace at Govardhan Hill. So there we are again. Bhaktivedanta Ashram on the right there. We'll stop there and then we'll go to Dhammayata Kund. But let's go into our Bhaktivedanta Ashram. Well, there it is from the back, and that's the hill you can see in the front. Right. Beautiful place. And here we go into the main entrance. And first we see the Pushpa Samadhi of Tamar Krishna Goswami. And into the temple. And on the altar are these 2 Govardhan Shivas. On the right is Krishna, on the left is Balaram. And there's Govardhan deities there, plus this nice deity of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Then, okay, from there we'll go on to number 9, Dhammayata Kund. So what is Dhammayata Kund? Well, it's a long story. It's a long story. But basically, Krishna and the cowboys cornered the gopis just near here and demanded that they pay a huge tax, 50 handfuls of diamonds, and not the new, artificially manufactured ones, but the real ones. 50 handfuls for each gopi. And of course they were not able to come up with that. But they agreed, the gopis agreed, we will meet you here tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, and we will give you whatever you want. So that the gopis came at 10 o'clock. They came early and hid behind the trees. And Krishna and the cowboys came at 11. The gopis jumped out and ambushed them and beat them up. And Krishna was saying, please stop. We'll do anything, just tell us what you want and we'll stop. And they said, well, let us off the tax then. And so Krishna said, no problem, forget the tax. And so yes, as they say, they all lived happily ever after. So that was number 9. Now we're going to stop momentarily at number 10. So it's an interesting little spot. It's a Govardhan Shiva, you can see it up the end there, kind of biggish. And people come and bathe the Shiva every day with milk. And the monkeys come and drink all the Mahaprasad milk. Yes. So that was number 10 back there on the right. Now we're going to go to number 11. Number 11 is Aniyur village. And in between 10 and 11, Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai. In between is the area where part of the area where all the food was offered to go to the Dhammayata. So it's called Anakut Kshetra. Kshetra meaning like a field or a flat area. And Anakut, Ana means food and Kut means a hill. They offer so much food to go to Dhammayata. Starting from Terry, going along further, we'll show you shortly how long it was, 500 kilometers long. So it's these are the trees of Govardhan. What are they called?
Kadamba.
Kadamba. These are Kadamba trees on the right. And a little further down on the left, there are also Kadamba trees. And so we walk along having darshan of the hill and the cows on the hill as we go down. And you see right in the center is what we call a face Shiva. You can see the mouth and the eye there. Yeah, and the nose is kind of there. This is a face Shiva. Big rock. And then a drone's eye view of that part of Govardhan Hill. And yes, because you've got to get into it. You're going to get into it, you might as well get into it. And this is a really good place for rolling in the dust, which is a very sacred and blissful activity. And yes, well, here we are, rolling in the dust. And you may recognize the two in the center, they were here yesterday for the Rath Yatra. And they had a good time. You can see the sand all over their heads. This is the way to live. So that was back to the right of it. Right, so now we're entering the village and we'll visit these different places. 11 is just the village itself. 12 is the Balaram temple. 13 Sankarshan Kund. 14 is the old Gopal temple. And 15 is where they found Gopal. So let's have a look see. So that's number 15 actually. That's the current day Gopal temple. And just behind it, you can see the bit of the brown building. That's the old original temple of Gopal on top of the hill. Yes, okay, so that was number 14. And this is now Sankarshan Kund. And they placed the Balaram deity, who we'll see in a moment, in the Kund for about 100 years because of the attacks of the Muslims. Anyway, this is Sankarshan, who was a form of Lord Balaram after all. And there's the old temple from hundreds of years ago. And let's see where we're going to go. I think we're going to the Balaram temple. Let's see. Yeah, this is the Balaram temple. Doesn't look anything special, but inside it's really nice. So in we go, and there's Balaram and Lord Krishna. Balaram is the tall one, and he's the older brother, and Krishna's smaller on the left. Yeah. And these deities, you cannot photograph these deities. At risk of your life. So there's Lord Balaram. And as you can see, he's actually bas relief. You understand bas relief? The background is the same rock, and he's being carved, his features out of the actual rock. And he was in the Kund for at least 100 years. And there's little Krishna. Right, so that was 13, and from here I assume we go to 15, which is the place, there it is, where they found Gopal. We would call it Srinathji. Yeah, and if you've been to Rajasthan, near Udaipur, is Nathla, a town, not a big town, but it's all around Srinathji. But this is where they found him. So then we go. And at the back there is actually the hill. That is part of the hill. And that is where they located Govardhan Srinathji. Yes. So that's part of the hill. And Lord Chaitanya would not step on the hill, because Lord Chaitanya is in the mood of a devotee. And he's very respectful towards Lord Krishna. And the hill is a form of Lord Krishna. So how could a devotee step on Krishna? You just don't do that. But still, one day the devotees brought Gopal Srinathji down from the top of the hill. When the Muslims attacked one time, they hid him away somewhere. So Lord Chaitanya got to have darshan of Gopal Srinathji. Yes, okay. So now, where are we? Good question. We're between 2 and 3. See, right, can you make it out? Right in the middle there, where the hill gets a bit narrower. There's the village there. Well, it's actually 2 villages, one on either side of the hill. Okay. Right, so number 4 is Anior. We were just there. That's where we were. Anior. Ana means food and or means more. This is where the gigantic form of Krishna, during the Govardhan Leela, he was fed so much food, and consumed it in seconds, and then called out, Anior, give me more food. Give me more. So, okay, anyway, there's the village. You see, we were just there. Number 1. Number 2, we were just at that spot. And there's Sankarshan Kund at the bottom. And now number 3 on the left is Govinda Kund. And that's because the food was all the way through to Govinda Kund, about 5 kilometers. So here we are, here's our team, mainly Russian, not all. There's Krishna Chaitanya Das, there with his blue bead bag, one of our devotees from South Africa. And otherwise, the majority are from Russia, going with us on Parikrama. And you see, bare feet, at least some bare feet. And away we go. So on the way, we started this temple. This is called Sakshi Gopal Temple. Sakshi Gopal. You can see it's Krishna holding the hill up with his left hand. And Sakshi means witness. So this is the special deity of Krishna as a witness. And here we are at Govinda Kund. First, it looks like we'll start at number 1, which is Madhava Temple. Yes, there it is. We go up and we go inside. And here's the altar. And, believe it or not, the altar is facing the hill. So you walk up, the stairs are behind the altar. And, the deities are looking at the hill. So that's Radha Mohan. On our right is Vishnupriya, the main wife of Lord Chaitanya. And on the left is Gauritai. And that's an aerial view of Govinda Kund. Let's see, where should we go now? We'll go to one of the temples. This is where the bathing ceremony of Lord Krishna took place. Immediately after the whole pastime of, first of all, offering all the food to the hill, then the great storm coming for 1 week, Krishna holding the hill, little finger of his left hand for 1 week. So from the bathing of Lord Krishna here at the end of the pastime. And some of our friendly British Nazis here, interesting character. Yes. Devotee. And where should we go next? To tell you the truth, I'm not sure. But maybe we'll go to number 3, the Radha Govinda temple. That's it, yes. It's the Radha Govinda temple, the presiding deity of Govardhan. There's Radharani and Govinda. And again, looking very beautiful. They're smaller than Krishna and Balaram, so 2/3 the size or half the size. Right, so next, I think we go, well, I'll tell you when we get there, but it's either number 5, the Jagannath temple, or it's number 4, Radha Gopinath temple. It's Radha Gopinath. Yes, it's Gopinath. And this is Radha Gopinath, just very small deities. But what we do here, we go up on the roof, and we get this beautiful view across the court, and over to the hill. And here we sit under the trees, and we chant japa. It's just really wonderful. And that's another angle from up there. And this is also from up there, some cows on top of the hill, and one calf with a bird, all taken from the top of that Radha Govinda temple, one of the buildings there. So that was number 4. Yeah, and we were looking from the roof there, basically, to the right. So now I can't remember where we go like this. It's probably number 5. Let's see. Yes, it is. Jagannath Puri at Govinda Kund at Govardhan Hill. They take the deities out for Rath Yatra every year on the Rath Yatra day. And this was number 6, you probably missed it, but this is the sitting place of Vallabhacharya. If any of you are Gujarati and from Pusti Marg, this is one of the important places of Vallabhacharya, yes. And again, well, this is a sitting place. And again, you cannot take photographs here. It's terrible. But we do anyway. So that was number 6, right? You see number 6 there. Now I guess we're going now to number 7, which is the Gopal temple. There it is. And that's a big old kadamba tree in the back on the right. And the temple is through that door on the left. It's Darshan. There he is. Gopal lifting up Govardhan Hill. Beautiful little deity. And from there we go to number 8, which is Mukaravinda. We were just at Mukaravinda a little while ago. This is another one. Why can't Krishna have many mouths? Why restrict him? So Mukaravinda is the one with the white cloth, and this one with the garland, the yellow, green, and sort of maroon garland. This is a Nantashesh, and you can see how his face is formed there. And then there are other Shilas. This is a Ganesh Shila. You have to use your imagination a bit. But if you do, you'll see there's an elephant's face there, 2 eyes near the top, and a sort of a ridge running down towards the tulsi leaf and flowers. That's his trunk. So that's the Ganesh Shila. And this is the Ayurveda Shila in the center, with a footprint on it. Yes, so off we go from Govinda Kund, following along the side of the hill. Oh, first we stop at Radhashamsundar. It's a small temple. And this is Radhashamsundar. Babaji is there. And these are some local devotees. And he looks like a real character. Yes, in the rainy season. Right, so now we're walking along. See, number one is going into the convent, where we just were. Now we're going to number two, the Doka Daoji Temple. Daoji is the name of Lord Balaram, means the older brother. And Doka is in like the local dialect. It's a version of Hindi, but it has got significant differences. So Doka is like Deka in Hindi. Doka means watching, he's looking. The older brother who's watching. And so we walk along again, look at that beautiful sand. See everyone's in bare feet. Yeah, there's some roots anyway. And another cow and a calf. And the hill is looking very beautiful. And very nice Shila. More Shilas. And here's the Doka Daoji temple, that little round thing on the top. Yeah, right. And here's the path just next to it. And there's the temple, little big temple on top of the hill. Hill is quite low, as you can see at this point. But we don't go there, we don't go up there, because we don't step on the hill. But we sent one of our friendly locals up, and he took some photos for us. And I'm sure he could be there, right? Is that? Oh, it says Doka Daoji Maharaj. Right, so here we go. And there's our friendly local on the right. And behind him, that rock with the white garland and various flowers, this is the Balaram Shiva. Yeah. And this is Balaram, the Daoji, who is watching. What's he watching? He's watching the spring rasa dance of Krishna, which is going on just out from the hill at this point. Shri Krishna Balaram And this is another interesting Shila. This is another Mukut Shila. Mukut meaning crown. And on the top you can see there's sort of a circular type of mark. They say that Lord Balaram, sitting up on the hill there watching the rasa dance, became so overwhelmed, his crown fell off and landed on this hill, on this rock, this Govardhan Shila, and the Shila melted. So nowadays you can see the mark of Lord Balaram's crown there. So that was number two. And on we'll go to Punchari, which is the end of Govardhan Hill. The hill goes underground at that point. But we'll walk along a bit. Yes, there's a nice cow. And some devotees. This is a monkey, a big one, a big male with big teeth. And he's looking at me because I took this photo. And he's thinking, shall I attack this fellow? Or what shall I do? But then he decided, still checking me out. And then he decided, let's just relax. So there he is, one of the local monks. And here are the people on Parikrama. And you see the bare feet. It's sort of considered in bad taste to wear shoes, although some people do. So now we're coming towards the end of the hill. Some people build little houses out of Govardhan Shilas. The idea another cave. In there somewhere, through the rocks. And oh yes, there's Mum and baby, and Mum is not happy that she's being photographed. But anyway, okay, oh yes, also please. And another local devotee, friendly fellow, eating the thorns. Right, and this is Chari. Number one, you see there, that's the hill. And you can see it's just going down and going underground. That's the end of the hill. Then we'll go to number two, that's the Shiva temple. Very special temple. You know, not very sort of attractive or beautiful looking, but it's really nice. So we go up, and this is the view. You can see the hill going down into the ground on the left, and then going along towards the right. And I don't know if you can see from where you are, but right on the right, there's a white something. That's that Govardhan temple we saw earlier, overlooking your village. Yes, okay, so this is taken from the, up on top at the Shivadev temple. And here is Lord Shivadev. And he is there to protect the devotees on their Govardhan Parikramas. And there he is, killing Parikrama. Parikrama looks, got a very unusual looking head. But anyway, that's Parikrama. And here, this is me with the Pujari, and he's letting me get some dust from Lord Shivadev's lotus feet. Oh, look at that, really getting some mercy. Some much needed mercy. So now again, from just by the temple we see the two main kunds here. This is Naval Kund on the left, and further down a little more to the right, green, that's Apsara Kund. Yes, oh, here we are. Continue the same Parikrama. And we're going to stop by these kunds. Number 3 is Naval Kund, number 4 is Apsara Kund. Right, so this is Naval Kund. Naval is the name of Krishna, means ever fresh. And that's at the Shivadev temple, straight back in the background, where we just were. Yes, this is Naval Kund. And this is Apsara Kund. The Apsaras are like demigoddesses from the heavenly planets. This is where they landed when they came for the bathing ceremony of Lord Krishna. And this again is Apsara Kund. And this is Apsara Kund. And don't worry about the green stuff. You just clear it away and take some water and put it on your head. So that's us next to Apsara Kund. And now we will go to number 5. You see at the top left. Lota the Lota temple. Here's the temple. And this is Lota. Lota means waiting. Waiting. You see, this is Prachin Mandir, Puncharika Lota. This is Puncharika Lota. Lota means waiting. He's waiting Baba. He was waiting there for Krishna to come back. Because when Krishna was leaving Vrindavan, he went and said goodbye to everyone, including Lota Baba. And Lota Baba and Krishna said, I'm going to Mathura, I'll be back tomorrow. Lota Baba said, I'm going to sleep, you're not coming back. And Krishna said, well, wait here, and we'll see. I will be back. If not tomorrow, very soon. But Krishna only came back 4,500 years later, by which time Lota Baba had turned into a deity, and Krishna came and embraced him and said, "See, I told you I'd come back." Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya. Right, so now this is again a drone's eye view looking back at the village. On the right, you see the white dome temple, that's the Lota Baba temple. Right, and here, where all the water is, this is the rainy season, that's why it's so green. Otherwise, this is just flat ground. And this is the headquarters of the Punchari Cricket Club. You've heard about how Indian people are into cricket, right? Yeah, well, this is the Punchari Cricket Club, and I am a member. I've done some fast bowling there, and they couldn't believe it at all. This white man, elderly man, hurling the ball at them. Anyway, okay, yeah. So that's that area, sort of between 7 and 3. Yes, so we were at 5, the Lota Baba temple. Now we're going to the Srinathji temple. There's the temple. And beautiful deity, amazing deity. See, these deities like this one here and Nrsimhadev, they will let you do abhishek for these deities. And we had last year at the Nrsimhadev temple, we had like 200 devotees doing abhishek for about 3 hours of that same deity Nrsimhadev. And I think the year before we did abhishek of this Srinathji. Just a very beautiful deity. Sutta Kund just outside the temple, one of the many kunds. And that's another view. Not down very well. But another 8 riders came, Raga Pandits. And it's locked. You can't get in. But, of course, we got in. And we took a photo. This is the cave of that Raga Pandit would sit in and chant japa in. And the cave goes through to the other side. There's the other end, just behind the temple. So it's like 25 meters long or something. So, okay, right. So that was number 1, Punchari. Number 2 is Srinathji, that's where we were. Now we're going through number 3, which is the area of the blue cows, Nilgai. So let's have a look, see. Some regular cows. And some very nice shears. The hill is not as steep on this side, much less steep. So anyway, let's have a dash of some blue cows. And there they are. These are females, so they're not blue. They're a type of deer, type of antelope. Yes, but they're called blue cows by the local people. This is a male. Because he's got horns, he's kind of bluish, dark, much darker than the females. Right. And these are females, you can see a different shape of the colour. It's probably the same male, actually. Yes, so now we go on to Indrakund and the Airavata footprint. This is where Lord Indra, where are we? Number 1, okay. Or right on the left, where Lord Indra landed when he came in for the Abhishek. Little kund, just a small kund, there it is. crash landed, and one of his feet just sunk into the Shiva. So it's called the Ayurveda Shiva. And from here we see the same little pink Govardhan temple from the back, from the other side, on top of the hill. And now we go to Surabi Kund, where the Surabi cow came in. And you can see that almost all Russians. There's our Krishna Chaitanya dust there. And in the background you can see some Indians keeping out of the way. Yeah. So this is Surabi Kund, where the Surabi cow came in. And on we go, next is, what is it now? We go through, well, all right. Kadambava, we're going through Kadambava. Right. Yeah, so that number 3, you can see that's right. Now we're going through Kadambava, and they say if you roll in the dust here, you achieve Krishna prema. So we just had no choice. We had to roll in the dust. Yes, and that man, he really took it seriously. Russian boy. So that was in Kadambava. And yes, number 4 is Ayurveda Kund. There it is there. And it's quite a nice Kund. This is, it's connected with Ayurveda. And so that was number 1 here. Now number 2 is Harju Kund, also known as Shiva Kund, because this is where Lord Shiva landed. And we're looking across Shiva Kund. And it's a nice place to sit and chanting japa in the evening. Right, so that was number 2, and you can see the sort of circular Kund just at the top of Harju Kund. And now, so this is now Jatipur village. Angior village is directly on the opposite side. You can even see some of the buildings there if you can make them out. Just by the, just beneath that Govardhan temple. So we're going to go through the Jatipur village, and would you believe it, there is a 3rd Mukaravinda, and look at that, popular shoe. Because that's over down the hill, you see, that they're standing on and sitting on. And this is the Mukaravinda Shiva here. So there are 3, mainly 3 Mukaravindas around Govardhan Hill. And nice view up the hill here. And this is the other side of that big white Govardhan temple. And now we're going to stop at number 4, which is the Dandavati Shiva. They say if you circumambulate it 7 times, that's the equivalent of the whole Govardhan Parikrama. And this is in normally, but then during Kartik they dress it up. Look at this. This is the same Dandavati Shiva, but all dressed up for Kartik. Right, so that was Jatipur, which is on the left. Now we're going to walk along the top side of the hill, going from our left to our right, towards Govardhan, the back side of Govardhan town. So along we go, and beautiful walk through the forest. It is just really nice. Nice Shivas, and some local devotees having their pastimes. And yes, the local owl and the local peacock, because we're there in summer or late summer, so the peacock has full tail. And this this is a sugarcane juicer, mobile, would you believe it? Completely sugarcane and a mechanized device. Right, so now this is going downtown. So we're going to pass through and we'll meet one of the local devotees who's a good friend of ours. Sort of. Here we go. And yeah, with kirtan, dancing kirtan, getting some of the local people involved. And this is our friend. This is Garib Das. And he's a character. Well, we can probably make that out. Wouldn't be too difficult. Yeah, this is Tulsi he has on. Yeah. Or Tulsi. And yes, he's a real character. Some days he has more Tulsi on than other days. So that's sort of, we didn't mark it actually, but where the red line you can see goes up, then it takes a line, so it goes down. He's almost right where the corner is. And then there's Sakhisthani, which is the place of Chandravali, Radharani's competitor. And this is in the rainy season, so there's loads of water. Yeah, so now we're going to the right, following the main road, which is in red, and going out towards Radha and Shankar, which are on the far right. You can see them there. This is just from Google Earth, if you're familiar with that. And this is interesting. Yeah, the hill is getting lower until finally it disappears, goes underground. And there are many demigod temples along the side of the hill in this area. There's quite a lot of them actually. There's five-headed Hanuman with his club. And what's he doing with his club? Well, what's he doing with his club? He's giving some mercy to someone. Yeah. What they call tough love. And yeah, so here's the Parikrama path. We keep to the sandy part as much as we're able. And this area with the blue line around it, that's where the hill is still visible, but then after that the hill is underground and you can't see it. Right, so on we go, and we're going to Govardhan. Really nice place. And beautiful little kund. Really nice little kund. In the background, maybe you can make out from where you are, is Kusum Sarovar on the other side of the hill. And so here we are. And yes, Uddhava came here after going to the underground and giving Krishna's message to the gopis and seeing how their amazing reaction to Krishna's message. And he was overwhelmed. And as he was riding back, heading towards Mathura, where Krishna was at that time, as he passed by here, he thought, this whole experience has been so amazing. I want to stay here. So he prayed, let me stay here in the form of the grass. So they say all the grass around Uddhava Kund is different forms of Uddhava. And there's Kusum Sarovar, the back of Kusum Sarovar. Yeah, we'll go there shortly. And this is the late Giriraj Sharma, extremely nice fellow, who met Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was a householder. In Prabhupada's younger days, he met Prabhupada. passed away, but there he is with me. We were good friends. Very good friends. Yeah. And this is Radha Uddhav Vihari, the main deities. These are the original Radha Uddhav Vihari, said to be 5,000 years old. And this is Buddha. So on we go. And now we're going to enter Radhakund village. First of all, we cross the canal, the irrigation canal. And if you look carefully, you can see a bridge, a low bridge at the other end. That's the other side of Govardhan Hill. Yeah. So in we go. There you can see overhead view. Radhakund on the right, Shanakund on the left. And Shanakund would have also been square, but they found trees which were forms of the Pandavas on this side. And so they cut across so as not to disturb the Pandavas. Right. So, there we are. And we're going to start at number 1 is Gopishwara's Babaji's Bhajan Kutia. And it's a Govardhan temple established personally by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Shri Radha Kunjani Hari with Lord Chaitanya. So anyway, here we go to Radhakund. We're on the base of Radhakund now. This is Radhakund. In the background you can see a bit of Shanakund. The pink structure there between the two, this is where they meet, where Radhakund and Shanakund meet. It's called the Sangam. So yes, there's the Sangam there. And you have to look really closely and carefully. But there are sort of slits between some of the levels of stairs, and the kunds, the waters mix. Yeah. And devotees offer prayer services rather good, offering prayers when they may be offering prayers. And that's Radha Kripa. What is it? Radha Kripa Kataksha. This is one of my old friends. Mohan Kanta, Chandra Mohan. I've known him since he was a child. Very friendly fellow. Right, so now we'll go around Radhakund. Just very briefly, we have a slideshow which is going in detail about many places. But we'll just stop and visit a few places. So number 1 is Radhakund Temple. Very beautiful deities. And in the same building is number 2, which is Raghunath Das Goswami's Samadhi. Yes, this is his Samadhi. There he is. I think we'll go there one of the other evenings, on the detailed Parikrama. And yeah, there's a number of stories about Raghunath Das Goswami and Radhakund and Shanakund. So number 3 is the Radha Govinda Temple. See, what happened was that when the main deities of Vrindavan were being moved out to Jaipur, then they stopped for a few days at Radhakund. And when they moved on, the devotees built temples where they had stopped for those days. So this is where Radha Govinda, the original Radha Govinda, stopped. And these This is the town of Govardhan Hill. It's a Govardhan Shiva. And when Raghunath Das Goswami was having Radhakund excavated, Radhakund Shankar, one worker struck a rock as he was digging, and blood came from the rock. So he stopped and he panicked. And he told Raghunath Das Goswami that night, Raghunath Das had a dream, and Govardhan appeared to him and said, "That was my tongue that your worker struck. So please take my tongue out, put it in a little temple, and see that it's worshipped." So that's what he did. And during Kartik, particularly, they dressed him up in very nice ways. Okay, so that was number 3. Before we go on to the Jagannath temple, this is Jagannath Puri in Radhakund, and on the Rath Yatra day, they take these deities on Rath Yatra around Radhakund Shamakund. And number 5 is the Radha Damodar temple and Bhajan Kutia of Srila Jiva Goswami. This is Jiva Goswami. This painting was done by Mother Archa Vigraha, who is, or was, an Islam devotee from South Africa. World famous Jewish artist. Excellent. So she did this painting of Raghunath Das Goswami. And this is Radha Damodar. Again, Pratibhu deities, replacement deities. But this is where Radha Damodar stayed on the way to Jaipur. Yes, right. So, this is our Lalita Kund. There were kunds of all the 8 Astasakis around Radha and Shamakund. This is the only one that's left. Lalita Kund, number 6, right? Okay. So on we go. This is Lord Chaitanya's sitting place. He discovered Radhakund and Shamakund and took some tilak and used the tilak on his body, and in the evening he came and sat here at the end of Shamakund and offered prayers to Radhakund and Shamakund. This is now the Madan Mohan temple and the Bhajan Kutia of Sanatana Goswami, who was the worshipper of Madan Mohan, and these are the Pratibhu deities here. This is where Madan Mohan stopped on the way to Jaipur. And this is the Sangam. This is, on this side, our side is Shamakund, on the far side is Radhakund. You see where there's like 6 or so people sitting there. If you look under their feet, maybe you've got to look very carefully, but you'll see there's sort of dark, oblong shapes. Can you see that? That's where there are holes going through from between Shamakund and Radhakund, so the waters mix. So here Radharani and Lord Krishna, in their liquid forms, are associated together 24/7. Well, yes, and this is the sitting place of Mother Janata, the wife of Lord Nityananda. And now we go out, heading back towards Govardhan town, and we'll stop at a couple of places. The Yugala Swarup Temple number 2 and Kusum Saropa. This is just a nice little temple. And this is Yugala Swarup Radha Krishna. And then Kusum Saropa, very famous. Anyway, yeah. Vajrayana, Krishna's great-grandson, and on the left are two of Krishna's wives, Rohini, not Rohini, but Kalindi and someone else. And what happened here at Kusumasarova is that the queens, Krishna had left this world, the queens were feeling so much separation. So they were wondering what to do so we can get free from these feelings of separation. And Kalindi said, we should go to Uddhavakund, because Uddhava is still there in the form of the grass. And when he associated with the gopis, then they felt pacified from this separation. So they went there and had a big kirtan with Vajrayana, who's on the right, who was ruling Mathura. And sure enough, Uddhava came out of the grass. And they went to Kusumasarova, and with 16,108 queens, Uddhava recited Srimad Bhagavatam for 1 month. And one by one, the queens went back to Govardhan until they had all gone. And then Uddhava went back and just got back into the grass. So that was number 3, let's see. Oh yeah, number 4 was a nice little spot. This is actually an ISKCON temple, more or less. It's run by ISKCON devotees. Really nice ISKCON devotees. The main one is a lady from South Africa. And this is the altar. And you can see the picture at the bottom there. There's Krishna fixing right around his ear. Let's have a close look. Look at that. Krishna has a moustache. Very well. Why not? He wants to have a moustache. He can have a moustache. Yeah, so that was just down there. Just down at the sort of bottom left corner of Kusumasarova. So now number 2 is Ratnakund, the Kund of Jewels. And we see the hill is coming up out of from under the ground. This, they say, is where Lord Chaitanya first saw Govardhan hill, and he embraced one of the Shivas. And maybe it was one of those Shivas. So we go in and we go to Ratnakund, the Kund of Jewels, and it's said that here Lord Krishna bathes right around his feet in the waters of this kund. Yes. And this, okay, anyway. Yeah, okay, so that's number 2. Now we'll go to number 3, it's a small kund. And these are out of the way, you have to know where they are to get to them, because they're not on the main path. So this is wild polka. Polka is a term for kund, and gwal means cowherd boy. And look, there's somebody there, anyway, walking across through the mud. And this is wild polka, the kund of the cowherd boys. Yes, so we're almost finished, devotees. We're just about there. So, yeah, we were just there at number 2, minutes ago. And there's Manasaganga again. You can see the shape of it. Number 3 to the left. And number 4 is just the town, Govardhan. Right. Okay, so long we go. And the hill is coming up step by step. And the devotees have built temples and, done all sorts of things here to worship. The Shivas to worship the hill. And this is the hill is at the back. There you can see it's kind of blackish at the back. That's because it's still. And we are now going to go to, you can see those going, and at the bottom to the right is another kund. We're going to go there. This is the place of the Maharaja Parikrama, and you cannot visit, you're not allowed in. But of course, we just went it anyway. And nice kund here, very nice kund. You know, back in the day, it must have been magnificent palace, like one of the sun palaces. Anyway, so here we are to go to Ganga. And there's Chakreshwar Shiva, and that's basically, there's Govardhan, and that's basically the end of our Parikrama. Devotees. Can you believe that we made it? So we conclude our great Govardhan Parikrama here. Thank you for coming with us. Shri Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. And Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. All words to this, all devotees. Hare Krishna. Let's pray. Prabhupada to give us some final mercy. Hare Krishna. And some different tales. It's a long one, I must admit. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. Have I kept you up past your bedtimes? Sorry if I have. But there you go. And there's not really time to say anything further. So tomorrow night, come here and we'll have another slideshow of somewhere else. And it will be short because this was the longest one. But would you believe, you want to hear something? There's a long version which is twice the length. It's for you.